That's a painful tune. What?
A difficult time. I was failing in college, and the band wasn't all that good at the time. Neil was drinking heavily.
Smashed your Corvette.
Wrecked my car.
And speaking of Neil,
Nice segue.
nice segue. Neil had 2 spring classes at Stewart Hall. I don't know if we have any St. Cloud State students here now or then, but Stewart Hall was this humongous, and it still is, I guess, big barn. And a spring class in Stewart Hall in the morning was deadly. And Neil had 2 classes right in a row that he had to attend or he was going to flunk out and they were going to draft him. Okay. So what Neil would do is he made a recording, an old reel-to-reel recording of him telling him to get out of bed. So his alarm would go off and he would automatically turn on this tape recorder and it would be about an hour of him telling himself to get out of bed. Come on, Neil, get up. Neil, get up. Come on, Neil. Damn it, if you don't get up, you're going to flunk these classes, you're going to get drafted, you're going to go overseas. Get up. Neil, get up. 2 hours of this, or an hour and a half of this, he would turn it on and sleep through the entire thing. And he flunked out and he got drafted and he went in the Air Force. So when Neil left, this next gentleman replaced Neil in Canoise, and
He lived next door and he was up early every morning.
we got Larry from a group called the Mort Plank 4. And Neil went into the service. He played his last job somewhere in Crookston or something like that. I forget what. But and then Doug moved over to bass. But we're going to bring him up, and here comes Larry Cease. So we had Grant Gullickson with us at the time, so Larry was the original, actually I guess you'd say the 6th member of Canoise. If you look in our history, it's mind-boggling. I can't even tell you how many people have been in and out of this band at any one time. But Larry joined us in 1966, and we traveled around and had a great time for about 3-4 years. And then we took a little hiatus and got back together again. Do I want to go into this yet, or should we just do a song? Let's just do a song, and then I'll get into a little more
Tell
history.
me a story, Pat.
Just about.
Should we do teach?
All right, here's a tune by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. It was written by Graham Nash. D, E, E. E as in Edward. E. E. Edward.
Military.
Oh, by the way, Larry Cease is a practicing psychologist.
Thank you. And when are you going to quit practicing?
Practice till I get it right.
Play my branches.
The ones you know by.
Lord, I can't teach your parents well. Your children's hell will slowly go by. And hear them on your dreams. The ones they mix, the ones you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh. I know they love you.
Thank you.
I just remembered a good story. And the first time that we played out of town and had to get a motel room with Larry, we were at the Wilmer Armory. And it was a really cold night. There was a lot of snow. And back then we didn't get a lot of money, so we just had one room. And there were 2 beds and a cot. And I can't remember if Grant and Pat took one bed and I took the cot, or something like that. And then we looked at Larry and Doug, who would get the last bed, and we said, Larry, there's one thing we forgot to tell you about Doug.
And Doug looked at Larry and just gave him this great big smile.
Hello, Larry.
There's a friend of ours that the band has known since its inception, and remember I told you about my first set of drums had the calfskin heads on it? The very second set of drums I ever bought, I bought at Max Music in 1965, I believe. And Al Hams was working at Max Music at that time. It was on St. Germain, right next to the Paramount Theater. Al later, then it moved over somewhere else, and Al later bought at Max Music from Mac when he retired and changed it to Al's Music. Makes sense. And Al has just retired from Al's Music, and he's here tonight. We want to welcome Al Hams because I bought a lot of equipment from him, and
And it all worked.
it all worked. Yes.
Al is selling the business back to Max.
This is Neil's sister, Myrna. We got family here.
Myrna came up for her 45th class reunion, right? Elk River class of 63. 2. That's okay, math, who needs it?
Wake up, Neil. You're going to miss your man.
Get up, Neil.